The better way has to do with how we look at the way we are intended to live this life, both as guest and host. That's what the gospel's about. It's not just a Miss Manners piece inserted into the middle of that gospel. It's about much more than that. It's about the way we look at life, how we see ourselves in life, both as guest and host. Because you see, the freedom we need from the gods that lead us to want only to win and to court the favor we need to win, that freedom is to be found in how we understand ourselves as guests and hosts in this world. To understand ourselves as guests is to understand that we are here by invitation. We are alive by invitation. Now that understanding has two sides to it. On the one hand, it says don't go around acting like you own the place. But on the other side, it says you have every bit as much right to be here as the next person. To see ourselves as guests in this life, in the way that Jesus describes a guest, invites us to recognize the truth that we're here because God wants us to be here. We don't have to do anything. We don't have to prove anything. We don't have to win anything to justify our existence. We simply need to learn how to be a good guest, how to respect the other guests, how to honor the one who invited us, how to appreciate the graciousness of the invitation, how to enjoy the time we spend. This is what it means to approach life as a guest of God. But we are not only guests, we are also invited here to be hosts in this life. Hosts in the way that Jesus describes a host, reminding us that because we are created in the image of the great inviter, we have some inviting to do ourselves. And the kind of inviting that we're invited to do has nothing to do with inviting what will bring gain to us. We are invited to invite without thought to what we get from the invited. We're invited to act as hosts to people who quite often can't return the favors that we grant. We are invited to act as hosts simply because we have something to offer, regardless of whether or not that offering bears fruit that will benefit us or not. It's called agape love, the kind of love that seeks the best for the other, even if it's tough, even if it's unpopular, even if it doesn't do one thing for who we are or what we want out of life. Don't get me wrong. It's not about letting yourself be bullied or exploited, because that happens when someone uses their power to overpower you, and that's not good for you, and that's not good for them. But the kind of hosting that Jesus is talking about is when you, in all of your you-ness, with all of your you-ness still intact, have something to give. And you're willing to give it without the condition that you get something in return. Guesting and hosting. This is what life is all about. And when we forget that this is what we are here to do, we also forget something of who we are. And we begin to suffer from spiritual amnesia. We go chasing after lesser gods. We go chasing after our own Baals and Ashtarts. We go chasing after gods that promise much but deliver little. Because in the end, not only will Baals and Ashtarts not save you, but neither will sex, nor money, nor winning, nor the favor of the ones you desire the favor of most. None of those will make us whole. In the end, all of these are only the leaky cisterns we tend to choose in place of living water. But being both guest and host, that's who we are. And God has invited you and me here to do just that.